Hello folks, time once again to do a retro CSS battle. These are CSS daily targets, they call them, from April of 2024. This is the 25th, that's the 26th, and this is the 27th. Let's get right to it. So this shape is certainly interesting, right? So CSS doesn't really do the combination of a straight line and a subtle curve at this angle, right? We want right angles and everything. So this is a curve and then straight line. So how do we get that shape? I'm going to start using let's see how far we can get just on the body. I kind of want to do a kind of gradient to start, even though so there's something that's a bad idea about this, but it's also an interesting idea. A conic gradient. And what I'm going to do is do this color and then transparent and then that color again. So that's what you get by default. So I'm doing this top part, and then we need some angle, 120 degrees, 0, and then, you know, well, what it'll be, 240 degrees, and then 0. So that's how you get that shape. Now you got to move it at 50%, 100 pixels to start with. We'll do round even number. And that kind of works. How about 101? No. How about 99? How about 98? That's actually pretty good. The problem is that curve. That's the little devil. But let's play through and sort out what we need to do the rest of it. Okay, so let's do now, we'll do a linear gradient. And actually, we can do more than that, can't we? We can do the secondary color, which is the other parts of the, I guess we'll call this a kind of an up arrow. So let's say 0, 150 pixels. Oh wait, no, that's not right. Oh, wrong. Okay, yeah, so I was thinking wrong there. However, let's see what we can do. I was thinking of that as a linear gradient. It is not a linear gradient, it's a conic gradient. All right, so next, let's do the next step. Let's do a linear gradient side to side to do the middle bit. Or how about another conic gradient? Why not another one? Yeah, why not? We're all in. And so for this, we'll do these colors. And if we move it downward, then we start to see something. We can get that. How about 200? And then let's put another color in the background here so we can see the contrast. So if we get this right, then we can see a little bit of what was going on here. So, and then we'll do a linear gradient to the side. Linear gradient, 90 degrees. And again, it's a lot of colors. All right, and we need a comma between each one. All right, so this is what we got so far. Is this a good idea? Probably not, but that's okay. It's fun. 200? No. 150. 150. There's 150. 151. 155. 0, and then, so what's that number mean? let's do 100, 200 pixels and 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45. So that's what we got so far. Let's submit it. I think this is like 98%, 97.5 or 97, 98%. It is, it's actually 99.9%. I'm not sure how that's true because that looks like a lot of pixels to me. So how do we get that curve? Here's what I'm going to try. Radial gradient. And once again, I'm trying to avoid typing the word gradient. And that looks like an ellipse to me. I guess it could be a circle. Let's do circle at 50%, or let's do, so what do we need to do? Circle, we need a comma between. Circle at 50%, 100%. And then it's actually transparent. And then the green. And then 20 pixels, 0. Well, that's how you get that. If we put it in the upper corner, make it 100% wide and 50 pixels tall, and repeat only on one axis, the x-axis, then we might have a shot. How about 200? So that's that's the principle that we're trying to do. 3, 4. Could that be right? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Oh, so there's the interesting problem, is that in reality, that curve, we can't do it as the negative space of that. We can't do, because it's going to cover it probably. So let's go up a little. Yeah, even if we get that curve. So I'll show you what we're looking at here. So that's the curve. Let's make it bigger. And then move it down. That curve looks pretty good, doesn't it? Strangely. So let's make this transparent. And then make this curve, which doesn't help us very much unless we do a linear gradient between. Linear gradient. See what I'm doing there? I'm creating, I did that curve, and then I'm covering it up. So this is multiple gradients. So we got a radial gradient to do the curve, the little curvy bit at the top. A linear gradient to cover that up, to cover up the conic gradient, which is doing this green. And then another conic gradient to do the light green. And then a linear gradient to do the side to side. This is not a good solution, but it might be a working solution. And if so, we're just going to go for it, because that's fine. As a 99.9%, just as you may have suspected. Okay, so it's close, right? Like, it's close and funny, and 4, 5, 6, 5.5. 1.55 is all right. Okay, so let's adjust some numbers here. I'm adjusting the center of the conic gradients because I think it might help a little, and it does seem to make a visual change. That makes it a really bad solution in a lot of ways. It's close, but I don't think we can get there with that. But the fact that this 50 pixel business, the 50 pixel radius, seems to be a pretty good fitting curve. Let's go with that. So we're going to do a 50 pixel radius on a border radius on an object. So we got to go with the blank template. Height. Let's do. There's the background. And the background of this. And this top margin 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 90, 100, 15. That looks pretty good. 120, 130, 150. And then let's make the height, we'll do border radius. No, border radius is on the element, border radius. And we'll do 50 pixels. Great. And let's make this taller. 2. Or is this not as wide as that? How about 160? Or 155? There's that 155 number. That actually might be fine. All right, let's make the height of that 300. And then we'll make more of these somehow and transform. Okay. And then PB and then PC. 3 elements. So on B, we're gonna rotate it, right? B, rotate and translate. So rotate 60 degrees. And then translate minus 200 pixels or something. 0 minus 200 pixels. There it is. Now, here's one of the things about translate is that things are applied in different orders. So what happens if we do that first? All right. All right, so I'm moving this willy-nilly around here. $65, $64. Sure. Again, a weird solution. But it might be a working one. Okay, so this one we're going to translate, and this is going to need to go up higher vertically. 5, 6, 7, 6, and then let's make that 100, 110, 20, 30. I'm just playing with numbers now. Close. I think we're too far over on the x-axis, huh? If I do a background, we can see that. We want it, so we want it to be yeah, that looks a little better. All right, so now we'll play with this number. 6, 6, so 8. And then submit that. So we're doing a rotate and translate. Oh, and look at that. It's just not quite right there. Where that bottom corner snuck up on us. All right, okay, so this one, again. Let's say 25. Get rid of that. 1, 2. And that looks a little better. Rotate and translate are very powerful and difficult to use. And we're still at 99.9%. So what do we got to do? Just choosing numbers that are just look slightly better. Adjusting the pixel translates on each one of these so that they're as close as I can possibly. There's a 100% match. So yes, those are some sort of silly numbers. We got that border radius, and I made it long enough so that I don't need to worry about 50 pixels. Do just the top ones. And that's a pretty kooky solution. Not very efficient, but it definitely works. So that's one way to do it. There are other ways to do this one for sure. Can you get 100% match on each one of them? Maybe not, but I bet you could think of a better way to do that one. That's what I got today. All right. Speaking of curves, we got curves here for sure. Is it again? Oh, well, heck. Okay, what if this is an element? Or, no, let's go blank template. Let's go blank this, because we're going to invite fate to punch us in the stomach. Okay, border radius. Actually, border is what we want. Border, solid. And then this color, 30 pixels, something like that. And then we're going to use margins to move this. Oh, did I say nested? So I forgot what I was doing. I wanted the nested template. Okay, so there we're going to do this. Okay, so here's what we got. There we go. And put this background, and then the background is going to be a linear gradient, which goes red to transparent. That's the shape that we're aiming for. So how simply can we do this? Order, clobber that margin and then increase these margins. 4, 5, 100, 20, and 25. Pretty good. So somehow those because I want to put the margins on the body. 120. 118, 17, 16, 17. That could be it. Let's unset the height there. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. 20, 30, 40, 50, 45. 44, 43, 42. All right. That's what we've got right now. So let's do a border radius and see if we can get closer to our dream here. And what am I going to do about that top part? I'm going to do a clip path. 5, 6. Well, I think I am. If I can make it work. All right. right, so that is too thick. So this is 25. And there it is. All right, so this linear gradient definitely has a stop. Let's do 40%. 40, 50, 60, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is, I believe, the dreaded third. So 66.6 for 7%. Or I could just do 100 pixels, probably. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's what we got so far. So now we need a clip path. Clip path, and we'll need 5 points. Clip path is a polygon. 50%, 0, 100%, 100 pixels, isn't it? Yeah, and then 100%, 100%, and then 0, 100%, and then 0, 100 pixels. And don't forget your semicolons. And that's how you get that shape roughly. Oh, almost. How about 10, 20, 25? Nice round number. All right, let's see if that's 100% match. It sure looks like a match, but I've been fooled on these nested guys before. And that is 100%. So we'll unit replace and minify and get out of here, because the nested syntax kind of scares me a little. It's very intimidating to do code this way, because I've had what looks like a good match and it just is not doing what I expect because of the code I'm using, and maybe because it's Safari, maybe because of other reasons. Regardless. All right, next. Now look at this guy. Let's so these are stripes, right? I kind of want to do it all on the body using linear gradients. Like, why not? But it looks like I would need multiple linear gradients to do that. In fact, I'm going to need like one for each one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I going to need 5 linear gradients? Let's find out. And this angle is like 80 degrees or something. Okay, number 1, and I'm going to put this color in the background for contrast. Let's get this angle right. Is it too much? So it's closer to 90, that means it's like 8, we'll try 85, 84, 85, 86, 87, 86, and then increase this number, 90. We'll try to use Q. 90 Q. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that angle's not quite right, is it? That looks pretty good. So that's the first one. And then we need, is it a negative? We'll do the other side. Will a minus work? Sure. I think so. And then I kind of want to do a conic gradient. Now, a conic gradient's center, if we did it as a conic gradient, it would be from way up here. So let's not do that. We're just going to make it too hard on ourselves if we do that, and I don't want to do that. All right. So what's the math of that one linear gradient? Hey, babe. The math of that one looks like what is it? 200. I'm not going to do the math off the top of my head. 280 degrees red. and then transparent. All right, so to do that, we want a minus 280 degrees, something like that. Okay, what do we actually want? We kind of want that. Oh no, we don't want that because our next word one is this. So we need, there's 0, 100, minus 100, minus 90, ha ha ha, minus 85. Is it minus 86? 86.2? No, that's not what we want. Because we're doing it flopped, because we were coming in from the sides before. So our directions have to effectively be a little bit different. So why is this so hard? Okay, so let's adjust these angles. 7, 8. Oh, so is it 94? 94.8? Yeah, something like that. And let's do Q again. Let's see if we can match it. And the color we actually want is this one. So now, for contrast, we will put the dark color in the background. Great. All right, so a little more over. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. All right, so that angle's wrong. Closer. 79. Yeah. All right. So that's what we got so far. So if we do the same thing again, but with a positive number, and then put this in the distant background. Let's submit and see if we get 100%. Not sure. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look too good. Yeah, that's a 90.99. 9.9%. So if we, I think if this angle's right, it might work. 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. How about in pixels? Any better? Yeah, that's not working. So I don't think this is doing what I want, and I don't like it. So we can try the silly thing I said, which is a conic gradient from way up top, or we can go with elements. I think whoops, sorry about that. I think you just saw my desktop, which is a mess right now. Hilarious. Let's go full screen and try to avoid inadvertently showing you things that hey, what are you gonna do? All right, okay, let's do the bank template and set our color as that. Display flex. Margin of 0. Width 40, 20, something like that. And then we need a gap. And then that means we definitely need a second one of these. All right, so, and then let's, my tendency is to use paragraph tags for everything, but because we're using flex, I think we don't have to. We have a margin that we need to get rid of. So we'll leave that. Set some margins. The height of these is going to be 300. The background is going to be this light purple. And we're in business more or less. How about 5, 6, 7, 70? That's great. And then the width of these needs to be wider. How about 100? And the gap in this needs to be higher. 50, 60. All right. This is far cleaner code than having to worry about all those angles. So, if I were smarter about how skew in the third dimension works, I might be able to do this. But clip paths always work. Well, they always do what I expect. They have some downsides. So 0, 0, 100%, 0. And then, 80%, 100%. There's your triangle. And then how about 20%, 100%. And that's how you get that. Oh, and is it right on? Let's submit that. That's pretty great. So that's 100% match. So let's talk about what we're not doing here. We can't use, because of the way clip paths work, we can't create one and then add the shadow, because the clip path actually will cut off any shadow as well. I guess we could make elements and then double them and make shadows at these angles, but it doesn't seem very clean. The polygon really is pretty good. So I like that technique for this particular one. So we submit and then we're done. Thanks for watching these videos from April of 2024. And this is a better score than I've gotten in the past. I'm not sure what I did in the past. I don't remember. And I'm not going to check it out. I try to look at these fresh each time, as the flailing around will indicate. And these are certainly fun. Hope you're having a great day. Make something with HTML and CSS. They are terrific technologies. They are available to you. And share yourself on the web. It's pretty cool. Or at least tell somebody. If you don't have your story to tell yet, tell somebody else's story. It's pretty cool. All right, take care. Bye.